Just imagine the scene, flashing lights at Roloff Farms, but not for a pumpkin season celebration. This time it is a federal raid. We are hearing reports that will absolutely shake the foundation of Little People, Big World, involving secret manufacturers, fake merchandise, and a federal seizure order that caught Matt and Caryn completely off guard. Amy Roloff is reportedly fighting back, and she is not using words anymore. She is using the full force of the law. Rumors are swirling about a massive $600,000 penalty for trademark counterfeiting. Is this the end of the farm's gift shop reputation? Did Matt really try to rip off Amy's brand to make a quick buck? We have the exclusive theories and insider details on the lawsuit that everyone is whispering about. This is the story TLC cameras might have missed, but the court documents tell a very different and very expensive story. Stay tuned because this is the legal beatdown you have been waiting for. Before we dive into the explosive details of this warehouse raid and the shocking evidence found inside, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to LPBW Update. Right now, click the bell icon so you never miss a breaking story about the Roloffs. Trust me, you are going to want to be notified when we drop of this legal saga. Now let's get into the scandal. To understand how we got to a federal raid on Matt Roloff's property, we have to look at the massive success of Amy Roloff's personal brand. Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen started as a passion project, but according to industry insiders, it quickly turned into a gold mine. Her unique logo, her catchphrases, and her genuine connection with the fans turned her aprons, mugs, and kitchen tools into bestsellers. It was more than just merchandise. It was a symbol of her independence from the farm and from Matt. Reports suggest that Amy was pulling in significant revenue and her online store was constantly selling out, giving her a financial freedom that allegedly made things very tense back at the farm. Theories are circulating that Matt and Caryn, watching from the sidelines, were not happy about this new power dynamic. Insider speculation suggests that seeing Amy succeed on her own terms without the farm's influence sparked a mixture of jealousy and opportunism. Sources close to the situation believe that Matt saw the demand for Amy's products and saw dollar signs. But instead of collaborating or creating something new, reports claim they hatched a plan to undercut her entirely. The allegation is that Matt and Caryn secretly contacted a manufacturer in China to produce knockoff versions of Amy's best-selling items, specifically her signature aprons and ceramic mugs. According to the theories surrounding this case, the goal was profit over quality. They allegedly ordered thousands of units that looked almost identical to Amy's branding from a distance, but were made with vastly inferior materials, cheap synthetic fabrics for the aprons, and low-grade ceramics for the mugs that were prone to chipping. The plan was simple but devastating. They would stock these counterfeit items in the Roloff Farms gift shop, utilizing the massive foot traffic from pumpkin season to sell thousands of units. Unwitting fans, thinking they were supporting Amy, would buy these items assuming they were the real deal. Meanwhile, the money wasn't going to Amy. It was allegedly going straight into Matt and Caryn's pockets. For a while, it seemed like the perfect crime. The farm is a busy place, and Amy doesn't manage the daily inventory of the gift shop anymore. However, the scheme reportedly began to unravel due to the vigilance of the fans. Reports indicate that Amy started receiving confused emails from customers complaining about the quality of the merchandise they bought at the farm. One fan allegedly wrote that the handle fell off their mug after one wash, while another complained that the apron melted near a warm stove. Amy was baffled because she knows her products are high quality, premium goods. She asked the fans to send photos, and that is when she saw it. The logo was slightly off, the font was wrong, and the material was clearly different. Insiders claim Amy realized immediately what was happening. This wasn't just a mix-up. This was trademark counterfeiting, a deliberate attempt to steal her brand identity and profit from her reputation. Instead of confronting Matt directly, which would have given him time to hide the evidence. Amy reportedly went straight to a high-powered intellectual property attorney. The legal strategy here was aggressive and brilliant. Usually in these cases, you send a cease and desist letter, but Amy's lawyers knew that if they tipped off Matt and Caryn, the counterfeit inventory would vanish overnight. They needed to catch them red-handed. This brings us to the most dramatic legal maneuver in the entire saga: the ex parte motion for a seizure order. Legal experts explain that this is a rare and powerful tool used in federal trademark cases. It allows a plaintiff to go to a judge without the other party being present and argue that if notice is given, the evidence will be destroyed. The judge reviewing the evidence of the inferior goods and the customer complaints reportedly signed the order granting Amy's legal team the right to enter Roloff Farms, accompanied by federal law enforcement, to seize every single piece of fake merchandise. The timeline of the raid is absolutely wild. According to our theories, on a quiet Tuesday morning when the farm was prepping for the day, a black SUV and a federal vehicle rolled up the long driveway leading to the warehouse behind the gift shop. Matt and Caryn were reportedly inside discussing inventory logistics, completely unaware that their scheme was about to come crashing down. Eyewitnesses, or sources acting as eyewitnesses, described the scene as tense and chaotic as the vehicles came to a screeching halt right in front of the loading bay doors. Amy's lawyer stepped out of the vehicle holding a thick stack of legal documents, flanked by a court-appointed federal marshal. This wasn't a social call, and there were no reality TV producers to intervene. This was the federal government enforcing trademark law. The narrative suggests that Matt came out of the warehouse looking confused and agitated, likely thinking this was a code violation or a zoning issue. Reports describe Matt's face dropping as he saw the badge of the marshal. The confrontation that followed was allegedly explosive. Matt reportedly shouted, asking, "What is this saying? You can't be here. This is private property," trying to assert his dominance over the land he has controlled for decades. But the federal marshal was not interested in farm politics. The marshal reportedly stepped forward and delivered the line that ended the argument before it began, stating, "Sir, we have a seizure order signed by a federal judge. We are here to confiscate all merchandise bearing the Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen trademark. Please step aside." At this moment, panic reportedly set in for Caryn, insiders theorize. She realized the gravity of the situation immediately. It wasn't just about losing the merchandise. It was about the paper trail standing in that warehouse were boxes upon boxes of the counterfeit goods, and likely the shipping manifest from the Chinese manufacturer, proving they had ordered the fakes knowingly. Amy's lawyer allegedly wasted no time turning to the inventory team that had arrived with them and giving the command to box it all up, every last apron, mug, and tote bag, demanding a full count to calculate damages. Caryn reportedly whispered frantically to Matt, saying, "This can't be happening. They will see the shipping manifest from China," exposing the depth of the operation. Seeing the inventory team swarm, the warehouse must have been a nightmare scenario for the couple. Tens of thousands of dollars of illegal stock was being loaded into trucks right before their eyes, and there was absolutely nothing they could do to stop it, because defying a federal seizure order would result in immediate arrest. The raid didn't just strip the warehouse bare, it stripped away the deniability. Matt couldn't claim he didn't know where the merch came from because the invoices were right there, heavily discounted, and originating from a factory known for producing knockoffs. The sheer volume of goods seized suggested this wasn't a small mistake. It was a calculated enterprise intended to run for the entire pumpkin season, potentially diverting hundreds of thousands of dollars away from Amy's legitimate business. As the trucks pulled away, leaving the warehouse empty, and Matt and Caryn holding a court summons, the reality of the situation began to sink in. This was going to federal court, and the evidence was irrefutable. Trademark counterfeiting carries statutory damages that can be tripled if the act is proven to be willful, and with the discovery of the foreign manufacturing documents. Willful intent was written all over this case. Legal analysts watching the situation unfold predict that this isn't just a civil dispute, it is a branding disaster that paints the farm management in a dishonest light. But the raid was only the beginning. The true battle was destined for the courtroom, where Amy's lawyer was prepared to ask for maximum damages. The dust had barely settled on the gravel driveway of Roloff Farms before the legal machinery kicked into high gear, and if the raid was a shock, the scenes inside the federal courtroom were absolutely devastating for Matt and Caryn. We are moving from the dusty warehouse to the sterile, intimidating atmosphere of a federal court where there are no producers to edit the footage and no second takes. Sources present at the hearing describe the atmosphere as thick with tension. Amy Roloff reportedly arrived looking calm and collected, flanked by her legal team wearing a sharp blazer that signaled she meant business. On the other side of the aisle, Matt and Caryn allegedly looked visibly exhausted, likely spending sleepless nights reviewing the mountain of evidence seized from their own warehouse. The courtroom battle began with Amy's lead attorney presenting the physical evidence, and this is where the case reportedly shifted from a simple dispute to a humiliating exposure of business malpractice. The lawyer didn't just talk about the counterfeits he showed them. Theory suggests that in a dramatic display, he pulled a genuine Amy Roloff's little kitchen apron out of a box and placed it next to one of the seized knockoffs found in Matt's warehouse. The difference was allegedly embarrassing to behold. The lawyer demonstrated how the genuine article used double-stitched hems and premium cotton, while the counterfeit version from the farm was flimsy, sheer, and poorly constructed. It was a visual representation of cutting corners, and the judge was reportedly taking furious notes. But the physical goods were just the tip of the iceberg. The real smoking gun came during the discovery phase, where Amy's team presented the financial documents seized during the raid. According to insider reports, the paper trail destroyed any defense Matt and Caryn hoped to mount. The documents allegedly showed direct correspondence between the defendants and the overseas manufacturer, explicitly requesting cost-cutting measures. One theoretical email read in court reportedly instructed the factory to make the logo look as close as possible, but to reduce the fabric weight by 40% to save on shipping and production costs. This was the moment the room went silent because it proved intent. This wasn't an accident, it was a calculated decision to deceive the customer and defraud Amy. Matt's defense team reportedly tried to argue that this was a misunderstanding, a logistical error where they thought they were ordering generic farm merchandise that just happened to resemble Amy's designs. They tried to claim that as owners of the farm, they had rights to sell whatever they wanted in the gift shop. However, legal analysts point out that trademark law is federal and supersedes property rights. You cannot sell illegal goods just because you own the building they are sold in. The judge reportedly grew impatient with this line of reasoning, interrupting the defense to ask if they verified the origin of the artwork used on the products. When Matt's team couldn't provide a straight answer, the defense effectively crumbled. Then came the testimony regarding the profits. Amy's forensic accountants had crunched the numbers based on the seized inventory and sales records. The scheme was reportedly far more lucrative than anyone expected. The theory suggests that by undercutting Amy's prices and using the farm's massive pumpkin season traffic, Matt and Caryn had generated roughly $200,000 in pure profit from these fake goods in a very short amount of time. They were making money hand over fist while Amy's legitimate business suffered. Hearing these numbers read aloud in open court reportedly caused a stir in the gallery as the sheer scale of the operation was revealed. It wasn't a few mugs, it was a six-figure enterprise built on someone else's name. The climax of this legal drama arrived when the judge returned to deliver the ruling. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist, this was a message. The judge looked directly at the defendants and delivered a scathing rebuke that will go down in reality TV history. According to the court transcripts or the theories surrounding them, the judge stated clearly that trademark counterfeiting is not just civil infringement, it is theft, plain and simple. The judge noted that the defendants knowingly and willfully manufactured and sold inferior goods using the plaintiff's protected trademark, which damages not only the plaintiff's bank account but her reputation with her fans. Then came the application of the Lanham Act, which is the federal statute governing trademarks. The judge declared that because the infringement was willful, meaning they knew exactly what they were doing, the plaintiff is entitled to treble damages. Treble damages means triple the amount of the proven damages or profits. The court had calculated the defendant's profits from this illicit scheme to be $200,000. You could hear a pin drop as the judge did the math out loud. Therefore, the court orders the defendants to pay the plaintiff treble damages in the amount of $600,000. The gasp in the courtroom was audible. $600,000. That is a massive blow to the farm's operating budget and to Matt and Caryn's personal finances. But the judge wasn't finished. In addition to the $600,000, the ruling reportedly ordered them to pay all associated legal fees, which in a federal trademark case can easily run into the tens of thousands. And finally, the judge addressed the physical evidence sitting in the courtroom and the remaining stock in the warehouse. The order was given that all seized merchandise is to be destroyed. This means Matt and Caryn not only have to pay the fine, but they lose the initial investment they made to buy the fake goods in the first place. It is a total financial wipeout. The aftermath of the ruling was chaotic. Amy reportedly hugged her lawyer looking vindicated. She didn't do this for the money. She did it to protect the integrity of the brand she built from scratch. For Matt and Caryn, the walk out of the courthouse must have been the longest walk of their lives. They are now reportedly facing a massive bill and a public branding as counterfeiters, which is a label that is hard to shake in the business world. Rumors are already swirling that they may have to sell off a parcel of land or liquidate other assets just to cover the judgment. This lawsuit changes everything for the future of the show and the family dynamic. How do you film a reality show with someone who just sued you for $500,000 and won? The trust is completely broken. Insiders speculate that this victory has given Amy a newfound confidence and power within the family dynamic. She is no longer just the ex-wife. She is a formidable businesswoman who knows her rights and isn't afraid to enforce them. As for the farm's gift shop, we expect to see some major changes this coming season with a lot of empty shelves where the fake mugs used to be. This story is a reminder that in the world of business and branding, shortcuts never pay off, especially when you mess with someone who knows their worth. We will continue to track the fallout from this massive judgment, including how Matt plans to pay this $600,000 debt and whether this will lead to Caryn stepping back from her role at the farm. Until then, remember to verify your sources and keep watching the legal dockets, because the drama on Little People Big World is becoming very real and very expensive. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the legal scandal of the century. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the breakdown and subscribe to LPBW Update for more exclusive theories and insider news that you won't find anywhere else. Leave a comment below. Do you think the $600,000 penalty was fair or was it too harsh? Let us know your thoughts and we will see you in the next video.